In this video, we'll be assembling the Gnome Wizard bag. So I'm going to start just by putting the two pieces of my bag together, and then we'll assemble the other pieces that I have laid out. This is very similar to the other Gnome bag. So again, when I put a bag together or anything that has tabs on the bottom, I like to hold the bottom tab up and bump it against this edge so that I know I've got it lined up to the bottom. And I just want to make sure this is adhered well. So this bag does have a back and a front, has back and front pieces. These are, there's no border around these pieces, so these go edge to edge on the front and back panels. I made the piece for the hat separate so that if you wanted his hat a different color, it is possible to achieve that. I'm going to do the hat the same color. And again, like the Christmas gnome, you do not want to apply glue all around here under this slit, because this is a slit for this tab to fit into. So we also will not put glue in this center section here to affect this tab. So we're just going to put glue all around the edges of this, and maybe just up just a little, but nothing here in the center, so that we can close this bag, kind of seal it shut, if you will. Okay. And then we have, I went ahead and made his face. I combined it with his beard so that you can get his face done properly. So his beard will line up, and that will leave the bit of his face that will show. I'm looking at my glue bottle and thinking, I hope I didn't leave this out. No. I can remember if I just took the pin out or if I had left it out. That will ruin these bottles, by the way. If you are not using it for, and you have quick dry glue in it, I would not leave the pin out of it for more than 5 to 10 minutes. If you're using it, it's fine because you're keeping the glue moving, but if it's just sitting for 5 or 10 minutes, you're going to be knocking the glue out of the tip to get it to work again. But if it's like the quick dry glue, if it's a water-based glue, just washing the tip in hot water will get that glue out, so it won't be ruined. So don't think you've ruined your bottle and throw it away, because they can get costly over time. Just wash it real good in hot water. So I'm going to make the part with the tab, the front. I designed it to be that way. If you wanted it to be the opposite way, if you wanted his hat to curl the other way, you could certainly make the tab side his front. I'm just lining this straight up to the bottom and following the fold lines on the side to put that on. So there's his front and back. And I think I will go ahead and put his hat on. And again, I don't want to get it to where that tab won't work, so I'm just going around the edge. And the same for the other side. Okay. So now we have the base parts done, and when the bag comes together, that's what we will have. So I'm going to assemble these pieces before I actually put them on the bag. So let's just move these around. My old ink pads are starting to get a bit too old, so I've gone to some new ones, and I have to use the dauber because the ink is too heavy, and I just want some light shading around the edges. I haven't been able to find a blue I really like. This is turquoise. I prefer a sky blue on my white, but this is close. I can't find the brand of inks I had before, so I'm stuck having to try some new ones and find something I like. If you have any suggestions to some good sponge pads that have real light colors that don't apply to inky, I'm open to suggestions. It gets expensive trying products to try to find something you really like. These aren't too bad. It's the Versa Magic, and I believe it's a chalk ink. So using this dauber pad, it helps. And the colors are nice. Okay. So this piece is the back of his hair. So that one's just going to glue right on. And this is his beard. And again, you're just going to line this up. This really helps, I think, to get these pieces lined up the way that they fit. Because then this straight edge lines up to the straight edge here. And so you are lining it up. That's that. He's got pieces for his hand and pieces for his nose. I'm just barely touching this around the edges of this, just to help it stand out a little more. I'm going to do the same to his nose. Those two were his hand. One hand is going to be holding his wand. There we go. got the two pieces to the brim of his hat. I'm going to use a dark purple. Just to help it stand out because the colors are the same. Now we can bring this back down. So you do want to make sure that his beard does not hang over the bottom of your bag, because that will affect the way your bag stands. And up here at the top, his beard is the width of the bag. So there is a straight edge, looks like it might be close to 2 inches, to help you line it up side to side on that bag. Now if you wanted to pop his hat up with some foam dots, you could. I'm just going to pop the brim. But you could do the whole hat. And that's the other reason why that hat is separate from his clothes. Besides the color, if you wanted it to pop, you could. And again, this is the back of him. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're putting on your brim is that it is wider. So if you're going to use foam dots, you can apply them right to this piece so that you don't go over. Let me get my foam squares. And I am going to I think I'm going to put them on my... I think if you start it about where the curve ends, you'll be safe for not going over the edge. I'm putting his brim on before his mustache because his mustache curls up over onto the brim of his hat. And this is going to, the two edges come up over, so I'm going to apply foam squares to his mustache. His mustache is also the width of the bag. There. If I didn't glue his nose on there, I might have. I think I did glue his nose to his wand. But that doesn't matter, I don't think. So check your pieces out really carefully. 2 of them are shaped exactly the same. One's a little more oblong. I'm going to use foam squares for his shoes. I am going to pop up his hand that is holding the wand.
Do you still want?
Then you apply the stars. Sorry for that. Okay, and that is his front. For his back, I'm running low on foam squares, but I think I'm still going to go ahead and use them. I guess I have to make a run to the Dollar Tree. There we go. So that is very simple. And we'll just close our bag up and then put the bottom on. So you can see I had to squeeze a little harder to get that going. I almost left that too long. Go. Make sure we've got a good seal. And you do want to make sure that your sides are out when you put your bottom on, because it'll affect how well your bottom fits if you're letting that squeeze down too much. These could be goodie bags, or they can hold a special small gift. You just want to fit that on. And it is a little bit harder with the folded bottom because you don't have the stiffness from the sides to help you get that bottom on. Just take a few seconds longer to apply some pressure and then smooth it out. It's not too bad, but it could feel like you're not going to get it to go on. So just take your time, hold it there for a few seconds. It'll go. You can even grab something, slush that around. And you've got your tab that hooks right in there. So there is the Gnome Wizard gift bag. Thank you.